Finally, another new legend after such a long wait. And trust me, this one's gonna be worth it. Arcadia is interesting to say the least. Of course she's gonna be really underplayed because she has Greatsword and everybody hates Greatsword, but what's my opinion on her as the Magyar enthusiast slash date night IRL guy? Well, I don't know, she's kind of okay. I played her a couple times at least, just here and there, but she isn't all that great. Like, I have her like level 3 or something, I don't know, she's kind of fine. Okay, I'll say it. Arcadia is one of my favorite legends. Whether that statement dies down or it stays true is up to me in the future. But come on, Spear and Greatsword, two of my best weapons, she's such an amazing addition to the game and feels so smooth to play. As of right now though, she's a bit busted. And by a bit busted, I mean really busted. I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not going to say she's balanced all because I play her. Spear and Sig I find surprisingly to be her worst Spear Sig, but it's still a crazy good Sig. Sends upwards, great for team combos or roof kills, hits grounded of all things, and it's just overall a fantastic Sig. I can see this getting a nerf. Spear's side Sig is arguably her most broken Spear Sig. Not only does it lift you off the ground, but it covers in front of you fairly well and has a crazy amount of force. It's her most unique Sig for sure, but I can definitely see this one getting a nerf. Spear down Sig. Where do I even begin with this? Ever since Yumiko, we've only had one trap Sig legend. Until now. Arcadia's Spear down Sig is a trap-like Sig that combos with other moves more than deal damage by itself. It goes true with Sair Neutralite, Recovery, Downlight Sair even, and here's the problem. I love this Sig. I think it's broken, of course, but I don't know how to go with nerfing it. Nerfing it in the wrong way could unintentionally remove a ton of true combos with the move and make it worthless to go for. Although Yumiko has loads of attacks true with her down Sig, so I think we'll just leave it for now. Greatsword Insect I used to think was a really bad Sig. It only goes straight up and can be tough to hit. The Uncharged version is very quick actually, kind of like Jala's Sword Insig, and even hits grounded for some reason. I like the inclusion, but it might be too much. The charged version goes even higher. While I'm dared to say it doesn't have too much force, it's still a pretty good move. It's neutral, not really too bad or too good. Steering it only makes you go a few pixels, but it's a strangely good add-on to the Sig. Greatsword Side Sig Uncharged is one of my favorite Greatsword Sigs in the game. Not for how good it is, but there just isn't a lot to it. It's a very simple slash forward. It hits pretty strong and I enjoy using it thrown into some Greatsword combos. Whether it needs a nerf? Probably. Maybe on force or stutter frames. As for the charged version, it 100% needs a nerf. Even though it's the charged version and takes longer to come out, it goes crazy far and hits super hard. I can see it getting a slowdown nerf or have it end quicker, maybe force as well. Greatsword down Sig, similarly to Spear down Sig, is a trap Sig. This one I'm not a huge fan of, in fact I think it's Arcadia's worst Sig. It doesn't true combo with much on first hit, just apart from Sair, Recovery, and Nair as far as I know. If you hit it later, you can get Insig and Side Sig true, or Neutralite true, but I found it a bit tough doing this consistently, as people aren't always going to run into it late. I don't think they'll buff or nerf it, but compared to Spear's down Sig, it's just much worse. Overall, Arcadia's Spear game is much better. The Sigs flow much better with her Spear over Greatsword, along with the stats as well, which we'll get into. Spear's easier to get grip on too, but that's not my opinion, it's just kind of a fact. I actually like Greatsword better than Spear. Going into the skins, she actually only has 3, but they're all very nicely done. Rogue Queen and Briar Rose are god tier, of course. I know, Briar Rose is everyone's favorite, but I would personally rather play as the quote-unquote fighter before queen type skin rather than the quote-unquote corrupted Fangwild queen skin. Both look awesome, but Rogue Queen takes my heart. Pretty good tier has Carapace Armored Arcadia and Default Arcadia. I never really liked armored skins, and still don't, but the weapons are nice and at least you can see her face. As for Default, it's your average default skin. It gives huge Fangwild Queen vibes, and I would put it in the mid tier if it weren't for the weapons. I can't wait to see what they do for future events for Arcadia's skins. Tier list wise, out of SA, B, C, and D, well, I mean, come on, what do you expect me to say? I think Arcadia is C tier. Wrong. She's S tier. We all knew it and we all thought it. Any new legend we cover will likely be S tier. While I personally think Spear is S tier right now, Greatsword really isn't, just like low A tier in my opinion. Once her Sigs get nerfed, I can see the down Sigs being pretty predictable once people have gotten used to them, but in a similar manner to Yumiko's down Sigs. Really spammable. But her other Sigs? I can't imagine if they'll just be neutral or gutted down badly. We'll just have to see over time, but another add-on to why she won't be top tier long is the stats. I'll admit, they aren't too bad. I mentioned Spear didn't need Dex in the ADA analysis, but while Spear, Sair, Neutralite is doable at 4 Dex, it's a bit tricky and mostly doable at 6 Dex. So, my bad. Regardless, her stats are 7 attack, 7 Dex, 4 defense, and 4 speed. 4 defense bothers me a bit, but it isn't too bad. As long as I have kill power, I'll be vibing. And I have 2 of my best weapons on me anyways, so, you know. Best stance is a bit of preference, but defense or speed is the way to go. I take defense because it takes out of Dex and I don't need speed, but some people will run speed and take out of attack. Attack stance takes out a defense, which is kind of asking for hell, and there's not really too much of a point putting deck stance on, so speed or defense it is. Lastly, we'll look at her current play rate. It's higher right now for sure, around the 2%-ish area. I haven't looked actually, but I predict that it'll fall down to the 1% area. Whether that'll stand up good or not, only the future will tell, but I think it will. Come on, you think people would actually play Greatsword? Not the majority, that's for sure. Regardless, as genuinely I can say it, I fucking love Arcadia. She's one of my favorite legends since Magyar came out, and I can see myself not playing her as much in the future, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, I'm stupid cracked on the double down 6 here neutralite technique. That hits way too hard. Regardless, that's the Arcadia analysis. Maybe the next new legend will be just around the corner rather than a 5-month wait, and hey, maybe we'll get Cannon Lance just to piss people off even more. Not saying I hate it, but we'll see. Thanks for watching this analysis, and next legend analysis will be Sidra, of course, getting back on track. But next week, I have a special video planned. See you all Friday. Oh, right. And of course, keep on brawling.